Hey guys, breaking news. We just got a massive balance patch to a lot of plant types just today. So I saw this Reddit thread going around from P-Lover and as well as a video from Fry'em Gaming. Both people, you should check them out. I'll have their links in the description here. But there were a lot of balance patches that seemed really overpowered that they have been talking about for a while. And just today, the patch actually went live. Some of these are pretty crazy, and I can't actually believe they actually put these into the game. Um, but let's go through these. So starting off in Guardian, we have Pishmashio. So it got changed from a 2-3 to a 2-4 team up. Honestly, it's pretty good. Adding another health as well as a team up makes it work really well in Citron decks, Walnut decks, all of that as well. Next, we have Sea Shroom here. This guy got a cost reduction from 2 cost to 1 cost. This is actually really nice because a lot of 1 costs so far are already 2/2s. So adding an extra cost just to be amphibious didn't really make a lot of sense. So definitely like this change a lot. Next we have Cactus here. Where is Cactus? So Cactus here got a cost increase from 2 to 3 sun. Instead of a 1 to 5, it's now a 2 to 5. I think this is pretty cool because, yeah, 2 damage is also really nice. And 5 health is a lot, so you're going to be pretty tanky. Definitely like this buff. Next was Steel Magnolia. Sorry if I'm like rushing through this. Like I have a lot of changes to go through, and this is actually insane. But Steel Magnolia got a strength increase from 2 to 3, so pretty nice buff there. Even though it's mostly used to buff the strengths. Juggernaut. Where is Juggernaut? Right here. Juggernaut got a cost increase from 2 to 3, a health increase from 2 to 3, and has team up. This is really nice because now with this guy having team up, you can have him shield other plants behind. He's already armored and he has some damage as well. That's Bullseye. Super great buff for this guy. String Bean, they gave team up. So being amphibious and team up, he can be behind or in front of anyone in the amphibious lane. So overall going to be a great addition, as well as a great addition to team up decks as well. Soul Patch got a buff here. Let's see, Soul Patch. Soul Patch got a cost reduction from 7 to 6, so another great buff for this card. You can get this guy out a lot earlier, protect your hero. Walnut Bowling got a cost decrease from 9 to 8. Wow. Walnut Bowling is a pretty strong card, late game card. Pretty much when you have 9 sun, I'm just afraid that the enemy is going to Walnut Bowling me. I always have to prepare for it. So now I have to prepare a turn early with 8 sun. That's going to be pretty crazy. Okay, next, Doomshroom. It added a new ability where it draws a mushroom card. It says here it conjures a mushroom card, so it's supposed to conjure any mushroom card. A nice addition to Doomshroom. I'm just giving a little bit extra utility here. Red Stinger. Let's find Red Stinger. Red Stinger, they gave a damage increase from 2 to 3. And when played behind a plant, it should be 7-3. I don't know why it says 7-2 here. Maybe that's an error. So just a +1 bonus to its lower stat. Overall, a pretty great buff for this guy. Cosmic Nut. He got a strength increase from 3 to 4. And let's see. Yep, and now the nut's strength becomes 4. This is pretty strong. I will say having a nut at 4 strength does make it susceptible to rockets. Before it was only 3, so it could only be flicked, but now it can be, hurt by those tricks that deal with stronger. So this is a buff, but also, has some kind of downsides as well to the Conjure Nut. Next is Starch Lord. This guy got a pretty big buff if I remember. Where is Starch Lord? I'm blind. Okay. Yeah, right here. So when you play a root, he initially just gave +1/+1 to the root that you conjure, or when you play, but now it also gives stats to itself. So it's almost like Deep Sea Gargantua, where it's going to buff itself a lot. I really like using Starch Lord, so this is just going to just buff him up even more and make these decks a lot stronger. He also needed this. Bodyguard got a attack increase from 3 to 4. So they're really increasing the offensive potential of Guardian decks, which is pretty nice to see because they're usually like more defensive. Okay, next is Pear Cub. So sorry, this is Grizzly Pear. Where's Pear Cub? Right here. So he got a extra ability where when he's destroyed, oh, so all fruit plants get +1/+1. So this is good if you're having fruit decks, just a little more synergy there. So pretty nice buff here. Okay, this one in particular, this one is the craziest that I've seen. Forget Me Nuts increased zombie trick cost by 2. This is actually insane. Already being 1 cost and being able to like increase cost of zombie tricks by 1 was already annoying enough. You're telling me that they cost 2 more. This means that if you play Forget Me Nuts on turn 1, you can't even kill this guy with a trick until turn 3. That's like a free turn of no tricks. I was really surprised when they added this change in. This is actually insane. I love Forget Me Nots. I'm going to be abusing this so much. I just wonder if they're going to nerf this in the future, maybe bump them up to a 2 cost. I'm not too sure. But yeah, this is actually crazy. Lastly, Bubble Up. I think this is the, this should be the superpower here. It now gives a plant team up. Oh my gosh. That's super helpful. You can just give, so usually this lets you move a plant, but obviously if you don't have a space to put that plant, you can't really, move it to that lane, but now you can move it to any lane because it's going to be given team up. So this gives you a lot more mobility and viability. Wow, these Guardian changes are insane. Okay, well, all right, next, we're moving on to Kabloom plants. So first here, sorry, I misread. Wait, Kabloom has no changes. We're going to move on to Mega Grow. So, Cabbage Pult got a strength increase from 1 to 2. So if you put it on heights, it'll be a 3/4 instead. Bonk Choi was given team up. Oh wow. Wow, team up on a Mega Grow plant too. That's gonna be crazy. That's actually really nice because Bonk Choi is great for getting that early game damage out. Wow, that's gonna be really cool. Fertilize. What is this? Oh my gosh, giving a plant 4/4 instead of 3/3. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really need to get this video out. I'm planning to do this video on a Torchwood deck that can kill in 1 turn. It uses Fertilize with like the moss, repeat moss. This is insane. 4/4 buff is just gonna be really crazy. Let's see. Sky Shooter goes from a 3/2 to a 3/3, so additional health on him. Repeater, where is Repeater? Repeater gets a health buff. So they're making the Mega Grow a little bit more tanky here, a little more utility instead of just being all damage based. So it's really nice to see them evening out these decks. Torchwood got changed. So, oh my gosh. You're giving Peas +2 and Bullseye? Guys. This is crazy. I can't believe they actually released these changes. Oh my gosh. Imagine having this guy, Gatling P. And you buff him up to like, I don't know, you use a fertilizer on him, so he's like 9 damage. You put him behind this guy, 11 damage. If that lane's uncontested, you kill the enemy. Like, guard doesn't even matter. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is next? Espresso Fiesta, they reduced the cost from 8 to 7. So likewise with Walnut, you're gonna have to be much more wary of what the enemy can do on a turn earlier. So turn 7, you have to be wary of their Espresso Fiesta. That is crazy. All right, next we have Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valley. This guy got a strength buff. So from 1-2 to 2-2. This is really nice because Lily the Valley buffs other plants, so it's giving it a little more viability on its own. Banana Split. That is this guy. He got a health buff, so now instead of 4-4, he's a 4-5. Pretty nice. Plucky Clover. Where is Plucky Clover? Am I okay, right here. Plucky Clover got a strength increase from 1-5 to 2-5. It also increases its strength based on the event card that it conjures, so another strength for that guy. Umbrella Leaf gets a health upgrade to 2. I really like this a lot because I feel like 1 is like you can die from like so much like chip damage or AoE damage, but 2 just gives you a little more viability. You can still be like sat on with Plumber, but I do like this a lot. I think this was pretty good change here. And P Patch gets a health upgrade. Wow, so really just increasing the survivability of these Mega Go units. Did they need that? Probably. Is it OP? Yeah, probably. Moving on to Solar. So Smarty got no changes. So onto Solar. Smashing Pumpkin. That's right here. He got a buff, so from 6-5 to 6-6, just evening out his stats. Don't see this guy played too much, but I like that they're increasing his health to an even 6. Oh, Sage. I really like this one. So this guy was a 2-1, and they increased his health by 2 to be a 2-3. Sage I really like using to draw extra cards, and just giving it 2 more health gives it a little bit more viability, so it's not dying in one hit. Cornucopia. Okay, they're really lowering the cost of these like late game changer cards because Cornucopia, from a 10 cost to a 9 cost, now you have to be again aware of Cornucopia coming out on turn 9. So pretty crazy. Mixed nuts. These guys went from a 3 cost to a 2 cost. I like this a lot because they're they're necessary in they're really good in team up decks. But at 2 costs you can place a Sunflower and a Mixed Nuts for only 3. So definitely good for those combos there. Bloomerang here got a health increase from 3 to 5. So a lot more survivability on Bloomerang. That's really good to see. Power Flower. Oh, sorry, that's not Power Flower. Power Flower here. 5 to 4 cost. Okay, this guy's pretty good. Good for some sustain on flower decks. He has strike through. 5 was quite a bit, but I feel like 4 he's gonna be pretty overpowered now, especially with the healing on the turn earlier. Wow. Okay. Chomper went from a 2-2 to 2-3. Nice viability, but obviously using this guy for his ability mostly for a free hammer. Briar Rose got a strength upgrade. Actually, all stats upgrade. Instead of a 3-4, he's a 4-5. So just more survivability and damage on this guy. Okay, next is Cosmos. Cosmos gets plus 2/2 on it when environment's played instead of plus 1/1. So you can stack this guy up a lot more. I feel like this guy was already pretty good, especially when you're playing environments, but with this it's going to be even more OP. You can really stack him up as you're playing your solar winds or even your healing environments too. Cosmic Flower gets a strength buff from 2-1 to 2-2. Again, pretty nice. It's not going to die for any trip damage. Tactical Cuke goes from a 6 cost to a 5 cost. So this is Tactical Cuke is already restricted where it only destroys plants and zombies on the ground, but now it's a very viable option to use at 5 cost instead of being 6. Oh my gosh, what's next? Sunshroom. Dude, this is actually so crazy. This is a massive change. Sunshroom from 2 to 1 cost? Okay, this makes sense. This makes sense because at 2 cost, you had to wait a turn to get a sunnier shroom. So being 1 cost, I actually think this is necessary because you are giving up that extra turn. Otherwise, so you're putting this guy at the same spot as a sunflower. What that means is that sunflower is kind of obsolete now because you would just place a sunstream that has more health and has the ability to generate even more as a sunnier shroom. You just lose the fact that you have a flower here, so maybe your synergy might be different. Next, we have Toadstool. Toadstool again used for his ability, but now you get now he gets a +1 to his health, so better survivability there. The Primal Sunflower, where are you? Right here. Oh my gosh, you get 2 sun on a Primal Sunflower? Holy. Okay, this is actually insane. Your sun generation is just gonna be like skyrocketing if you have the solar type. 2 sun plus you have attack and health. Now your health is still at 1, which I think is at least balanced. If they made this guy a 2/2 with this ability, that'd just be way too crazy. Okay. And lastly, for solar type, we have the Sunflower Seed. Sunflower Seed went from a 3 cost to a 2 cost. I like this a lot. I do like Sunflower Seed, but I feel like 3 cost is just too much. Having 2 is a much better, especially when you have to be destroyed to make a sunflower. So I like that a lot. Yeah, so those are all the changes in this balance patch. It was just these 3 types. So Guardian, Mega Grow, and Solar. This is gonna be very insane. I'm really scared, but also excited to see what the deck's gonna look like now. Oh my gosh, dude! I'm just saying, like, I just can't get over this one. Forget Me Nuts is just the most insane one of this patch. I might have to make this guy the thumbnail, to be honest. But yeah. Please let me know what you guys think. How you're gonna change your decks? What decks you're gonna try now? What cards? What's some of your favorite cards that got buffed? But yeah, this is just insane. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.